Okay, everybody, breaking news. So if you're planning to file an immigration application with USCIS, or if you have a green card and are thinking about becoming a U.S. citizen, there are two very important developments that I want you to know about today, okay? So the first involves something that could change the way many immigration applications are filed. And then USCIS is moving toward requiring certain applications and petitions to be filed electronically.
Okay, now this is getting tricky, so please listen. It's very important. The second development could make applying for U.S. citizenship more expensive. The government is processing, or they're proposing to increase the N-400, that's a citizenship application, from $710, that's a lot of money, to $1,280 online. That's an increase of $570. So today I'm going to explain both changes in simple English. What has actually changed? What is still only proposed, that means maybe, and which applications may have to be filed online. And if you already qualify for citizenship, should you consider filing the application before the end of the fee increase? That makes sense, right? Of course.
Yes.
So stay with us, please, because there's a lot of confusion about both of these announcements, and we want you to know what you should do. Hold on.
So we're immigration attorneys. I'm Carlene.
I'm Ed.
And so on this channel, we'll talk about immigration news, changes that can affect you and your family. We talk about green cards, citizenship, work permits, asylum, immigration court, family petitions, employment cases, and many other immigration issues.
We've done it all for 35 years each. We've
Right.
done it all, so we got you covered.
So if this immigration information is helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and share the video with someone who might need it.
Please. It's good for you.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about something very important with USCIS developments. The first is that there's a move towards mandatory electronic filing. The second is a proposed increase in the cost of applying for citizenship. So I want to make one thing clear from the very beginning. These two developments are at different stages. The electronic filing rule is already effective, and the citizenship fee increase is a proposal.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet, but soon.
Yes.
That's right. So on August 11th, 2026, a new rule took effect concerning mandatory electronic filing. The rule gives USCIS the authority to require certain immigration benefit requests to be filed electronically, computer. Now, when people hear that, they may immediately think, does this mean that starting today, every immigration application has to be filed online?
No. The new rule does not automatically make every USCIS form online only. Instead, USCIS now has the authority to choose particular forms or particular categories of filings to make that electronic.
You can see why immigration procedures and law make us all crazy.
Yes.
So how does the new rule work? Before USCIS can make a particular form mandatory, required for electronic filing, the form must already have been available for electronic filing for at least 180 days.
Right.
So the USCIS must give the public at least 60 days of notice before it stops accepting that paper version under circumstances of that mandate, that rule.
So USCIS can assume to say tomorrow, no more paper.
Right.
There is a process.
Right.
So USCIS will have to announce that particular form or possibly a particular eligibility category to use that form. And then it would be subject to mandatory electronic filing. And then there will be an advance notice.
This makes my head spin, but it is so typical. This is how bureaucracies worldwide operate, especially in this country. So that means that from now on, applicants, petitioners, and immigration attorneys need to pay very close attention to USCIS filings. And we do.
Right. So USCIS has been moving toward electronic filings for many years. And you know that. Many immigration forms can already be filed through a USCIS account. For example, the N-400 can be filed online, the I-90, the I-130, I-130A also. And USCIS has recently expanded online filing to include I-485. So I know that some of you are already filing online, but this is a little bit of a twist that I want you to listen to.
Right. So remember, available online does not mean required online. That's one of the most important things I want you to remember from this video. How will electronic filing work? Not easy. You have to listen, play this again. Electronic filing does not mean that every applicant will sit at a computer and type away every answer into a USCIS questionnaire under new rule. USCIS may allow electronic filing in different ways.
So one method is a guided online filing system where you answer the questions directly through your USCIS account. Another method may allow you to complete the actual immigration form and then upload a completed PDF and supporting evidence into your online account. So why is USCIS doing this? Well, one of the things that they're saying is because of efficiency. You know, think about how immigration cases are being traditionally done. An applicant prepares hundreds of pages, the attorney prints the forms and supporting documents, organizes the evidence, and sends a large package to the USCIS lockbox.
Very large. So USCIS receives it, they open it, they process it, they scan it. It's a lot of work. Eventually, much of that information becomes electronic anyway.
That's true.
So USCIS says moving toward electronic filing can reduce duplication. It can reduce paper waste and expense and so forth. And also, it's easier for them to detect fraud, and it's a form of security screening.
Right. So the online system may identify missing information before you submit the application, and that's helpful. So if you forget to answer a question, the system may stop you and say that you need to answer it, and that does help.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yes,
at least that is good.
Yes, and that could reduce rejected filings. It can also eliminate some mailing costs and may give you easier access to notices and case information through your account. You know, I know a lot of people who say, you know, I checked my USCIS account and I saw an RFE. So that helps sometimes, or they get the receipt, or they get the approval notice.
Sure, but there are also some real problems.
Yes.
Not everyone is comfortable using computers, right? I mean, I'm not thrilled about it. Some applicants are elderly. Some people don't have reliable internet. Some people don't have scanners. Some people don't know what PDF means. Some immigration cases have hundreds or even thousands of pages of evidence. Personally, I rely on my daughter for a lot of information. Sometimes technology just doesn't work at all, and then everything just falls apart. So, you know, you need someone sometimes to help you walk through, and take a look at your kids. You'd be surprised how knowledgeable they are.
Yes. So USCIS recognizes this. So in the new rule, the rule creates a process for certain applicants who can experience undue hardship from the electronic filing requirement to request a waiver. But that does not mean that everyone will simply be able to say, I prefer paper. A preference for paper is not necessarily the same thing as an undue hardship.
Right. So what should an immigrant do right now? First, you already have a USCIS online account, right? So make sure you can access it.
Mm-hmm.
You know the passwords and so forth. Do you remember your password? Do you know the verification process? We tend to forget those things. I know I forget. I write it down. I tape it to the walls. Second, don't create multiple accounts unnecessarily. That is death. Don't do that.
Yes.
Third, keep electronic copies of your important immigration documents like your passport, green card, birth certificate, marriage certificate, divorce decree, immigration notices, and prior applications. Please keep them in a nice, safe place.
Yes.
Fourth, before filing any immigration form, check the current instructions from USCIS. Do not assume that the filing method is the same because that's the way it was done 6 months ago. It doesn't work like that. They move quickly. So if you have an attorney representing you, communicate with your attorney, and then they'll keep track. Like we keep track. We watch every day. We look.
Yes. So so USCIS now has a rule that allows the agency to make electronic filing mandatory. Okay. But USCIS has not announced that every immigration form must be electronically filed, okay? So that's what we want to recap for you a little bit. The form has to have an available electronic, be available for at least 180 days electronically, and USCIS will give you time in order to file. So when you hear about USCIS is requiring an online filing, ask 3 questions: which form, which category, and started on what date.
That's good advice. You should write that down.
Yes.
Now here's part 2: proposed N400 citizenship fee increase. Now let's move to this topic. This one affects permanent residents who want to become U.S. citizens. Obviously, the Department of Homeland Security has proposed a major increase in the filing fee for the N400. More money, okay? Application for naturalization is not going to be cheap anymore. It was expensive before. And I want to emphasize, this is still a proposal. It's not the current, filing fee, but you know how it goes, all right? They'll probably pass. As of today, the current fee is $760 if you file by paper. But under the proposal, the fee would increase to $1,280, and that's a big jump.
Yeah.
And $1,330 if for paper.
Right.
And that means the online fee would increase by $570.
Right. So let's look at an example. So husband and wife are both permanent residents and both qualify for citizenship. Today, if they file in line, the total USCIS fee would be $1,420. Under the proposal, the total would be $2,560. So the family would pay $1,140 more. That's a lot.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, okay? There's another part of the proposal. The proposal also seeks to eliminate the reduced N400 filing fee and most N-400 fee waivers,
Right.
except where an exemption is required by law. Now, that's important because some lower income applicants currently may qualify for reduced fees or fee waivers. That's good.
Yeah, and when would the new fee start? We do not know as yet. This is a proposed rule. The proposal was published June 23rd, 2026. The public comment period runs through the 24th of this month. And after that, DHS will review everything and decide whether to issue the final rule. The final rule may look like this proposal. It could be modified, or the government could make changes. Until the final rule is published with an effective date, the proposed 1,280 and 1,330 are not the current fees. So if you want, you should apply for your citizenship now.
Should you file now? Well, now we get to the question everyone's been asking. Carlene, if I qualify for citizenship, should I file now or before the fee goes up? If you already are eligible, your case is ready, and you have simply been just hanging around waiting, this proposal is certainly a reason to review whether it makes sense to file now. But don't rush into filing an N-400 only because to save $570. Naturalization is not just filling out a form and paying a fee. When you apply for citizenship, USCIS can review your immigration history. That's very important.
Very important. So before you file, you need to look carefully at issues such as how did you obtain your green card? Did you obtain permanent residence correctly? Have you maintained continuous residence? How long have you spent outside the U.S.? Have you filed your taxes? Do you owe taxes? Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever had a criminal case? Have you ever registered to vote? Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Was your green card obtained through marriage? Are there questions regarding the marriage? Did you ever give incorrect information to immigration? Saving $570 is good, but protecting your permanent residence is much more important.
Absolutely. So, how these developments fit together. Here's how it works. USCIS is moving toward a more digital system, obviously, so is everybody. More forms are becoming available online. USCIS now has the authority to make electronic filing mandatory. You have to do it for certain forms. And even under the proposed N-400 fee increase, filing electronically would remain $50 less expensive than filing it on paper. That's not a real big deal.
So, number one, online filing, a new interim rule became effective August 11, 2026. It gives USCIS the authority to make certain benefit requests mandatory for electronic filing, but it does not automatically make every USCIS form online only. And number two, the citizenship fees. Today, the standard N-400 fee is $710 online and $760 on paper. The government is proposing $1,280 online and $1,330 on paper, but that's not yet. Those are just proposed rules. So if you have a green card and believe you may already qualify for citizenship, don't simply keep saying, I'll do it someday. That may be a good time to review your this now is a good time to review your eligibility. And if you're preparing any application with USCIS, pay very close attention to whether USCIS changes the filing method for that particular form. If this video helped you, please subscribe to our channel, share the video with a family or friend who may be thinking about citizenship or filing an immigration application.
And also subscribing is very important because we're going to update you on everything. But I want to tell you though, I have a lot of people that come into our office, and sometimes this has happened. We've had adults that actually thought that they were citizens. They weren't even citizens.
That's right.
Their parents didn't tell them. I mean, we've heard every story you can imagine. So don't go into your citizenship application thinking that I'm going to review it myself and get a professional, someone on the outside to take a look at it and tell you where the trouble is. Or when you're selling a house, one of the best things you do is to get an inspector come in before you put the house on the market. Let them find the errors. You fix the errors. You don't want to get stuck at the end with someone saying, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. Therefore, I can't buy it at your price. You could have made the changes easily. Same with citizenship. A lot of these errors could be fixed. Not the poor guy who thought he was a citizen. That can't be fixed. But
right,
a lot of errors can be fixed. Do it before you file that application. That's what I want to tell you.
Yeah.
Because I want you guys to win, okay? I want you guys to become citizens. It's a great place to be.
Exactly. So let's just see if we have some questions here. And here, somebody says, how is the process for the, this has nothing to do with citizenship, but that's okay.
Yeah, anything.
It says, how is the process for the renewal of a R1 visa? And when can I file the I-485? Okay, this is important. So the R1 visa is a religious visa. So you should renew it before the expiration of the first R1. So if your R1 is about to expire, you should do it, at least 3 months before. If you haven't done it yet and you only have a month left, do it now. Or even if you have a day left, do it now. Do it before the R1 expires, because once the R1 expires, you're out of status. And you can file an I-485 when, you have to look at the visa bulletin and make sure that immigration is processing your date of filing the I-360. Remember, the R1 doesn't allow you to file the I-485 until you file the I-360. Once you file the I-360 and the government is processing that date, your priority date, then you can file the I-485. I know what you're thinking. In the past, you could file the I-360 and the I-485 together for a pastor, a priest, but not anymore. It's a little bit more difficult.
You've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those applications.
Yes, a lot.
So the old rules and the older rules and the new rules and the proposed rules. Guys, it's not easy. This is a gigantic bureaucracy, okay? You got to keep up with the laws. You got to keep up with the latest changes, or you're going to get the application denied, and you're going to find yourself having to pay and repay and repay and repay and losing time. You don't want that. So keep up with the laws. And one of the best ways of doing it is you could listen. Carlene knows a lot, if not everything, about visa law. She'll tell you straight.
And okay, and then we have here, it says, I forgot to sign my I-20, but then immediately after my biometrics, I uploaded my signed I-20 without them requesting any evidence. Am I safe? I would say so, because you did it, quickly. So I'm assuming then that you have a USCIS account, and you probably filed online, but even if you didn't, you have a USCIS account because you're saying you uploaded your signed I-120. Did you put a letter with that I-1 when you uploaded the I-20? Did you put a letter with that? If you didn't, you should, and just make sure that immigration understands that you
Is it too late to add that letter?
No, no. I would definitely do it. Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, it says, I want to know how to make an e-request for my initial OPT for USCIS. Well, if you have an account online, there is a part there that enables you to do an e-request. You should also, if your OPT is pending, which is what I'm seeing here, your OPT is pending, then you should go ahead and call USCIS. You could also email them. You could also send a letter. You could also speak to your local congressperson. We always talk about that here on our lives. Do as many things as you can. I got in by email about 3 or 4, or probably a little bit more, people who wrote back to me and said, "Oh, by the way, I got my OPT, or I received my work authorization. I did everything you told me, and it worked out." So that's great. That's awesome. Awesome.
That's great. That's great.
Okay. So, if you have that says, okay, I have another question here that says, I applied for my work authorization in May, and while applying, I didn't upload the I-20, which was signed by me. I uploaded signed I-120 immediately after. Okay, I think it's the same question. You're good. If you uploaded it, you're good. All right. Okay, it says, can you please tell me what letter? Well, whenever you're uploading something to USCIS, or you're sending something to USCIS, you should have a cover letter explaining, dear USCIS, I am uploading, or I'm submitting my signed I-120 because the original I-20 that I sent in was not signed. Please accept my now signed I-20. That's what I'm saying. Okay. It says, another question says, can I have USCIS email, please? It's 175 days since I applied. Okay, so it's 170 days. It's been 175 days since I applied for my for your I-756. I'm assuming it's your work permit. Okay, so you need to send a letter. You need to call. If you did premium processing, yes, there's an email. Call the premium processing line, the hotline, and they will give you an email that you can send a request to. Send a letter. Do everything, guys. Do the email. Do the letters. Do everything at the same time. do the calls to get these things done, because you know what, it does work, because I've had people calling me or emailing me and telling me that it has worked and they're gotten there. So this is good. All right. Okay. Here is another question. Okay. So I see that a lot of people are stressed about their OPT, and a lot of people are stressed about not getting the work authorization card on time. Remember what we've been telling you. You have to keep on with USCIS. You have to keep on top of them. You have to keep calling them. You have to keep emailing them. You have to keep sending letters. You have the Congress people send letters. Your local people sending letters. Your job sending letters. And it does work. You know, I feel good that I know that a lot of you have been doing what we've been telling you to do, and it's been working. All right. So we're going to meet with you again tomorrow. Bring your questions. Tell us where you're from. I know a lot of times we ask you to tell us where you're from, and it's just so nice to know,
and what's a good time to come on to do a live. Tell us, maybe a couple hours before or after.
Right.
We're in Miami, so we're on Eastern Standard Time. So right now what time is it now? It's 7:30 p.m.
Miami time,
and about 100 degrees outside. I'm sorry to say.
Yes.
It's been hot today. And let us know, if the show is helpful to you, what's a good time to come on, and give us questions. Give us questions. And
right.
We're trying to read them. The screens are small. We're trying to read the questions.
The other thing that I want to say is I want to say hello to our friends from Dubai. We had quite a few people emailing us and sending us messages from Dubai, saying that they're in Dubai and that they listen to us. And so we welcome you. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for being with us.
We wanted to go there. Take a vacation.
Yes, we wanted to take a vacation.
Is that a great place? Is that a great place to take a vacation?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you think. If that's a great place. I know there are a lot of people here from Indonesia, from Ghana. Mm-hmm. We have people here from India. We have people from Ecuador. We have people from Colombia. Our daughter has
a great friend from Indonesia who sent her wedding pictures. I've never seen a more gorgeous, beautiful wedding. Yes. That? I don't know what part of Indonesia that was. That was absolutely beautiful.
Yes, and she looked like a little princess.
She did. She looked like a princess.
With her wedding pictures. Okay, beautiful. Guys, so we will join you tomorrow and come with your questions. As always,
who traveled recently to India, though? Your sister, remember?
My sister.
Both of them.
Yes.
They traveled to India.
And they had a wonderful time.
Beautiful.
Wonderful time.
It's funny because, your mom, she loves the Indian movies. So she has listened. My kids have grown up with those Indian movies, since they were babies.
Yes, that's true.
They know the songs.
They know the songs and everything else. Okay.
Yeah. So we respect your cultures. We respect your countries, and we like you to do well. So many blessings to all of you.
Yeah, and our friends from Haiti, send us a message and let us know you're doing okay.
Yes.
I know that it's been a very, very tough time for people from Haiti, from Syria. Having lost the TPS, a lot of people lost TPS, but it was been especially painful recently. And let us know how you're doing. If I know that a lot of you have received court dates. Remember not to give up just because you get a court date. If you have a court date, just go ahead and go to court, get yourself an attorney, apply for asylum if you can. If you've been here for 10 years, and a lot of you have been here for 10 years, and you have children, you're a citizen, apply for the 10-year law.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
It's been wild, and these earthquakes, we should really pray for those people that recently were hurt, killed. Many were killed, both in Colombia and in Venezuela. Over a short period of time.
Yes. Colombia got hit on
we had
Monday.
People that worked with us here that their families were affected by the most recent earthquake in Venezuela, and then also someone who his family was affected by the Colombia earthquake. And we did a drive for that, and we were collecting things, all kinds of supplies, and we filled a whole room with them because of the goodness of other people dropping off those supplies, and they got sent out to these dangerous, these really destroyed parts of the country. So we have to pray for them also. And,
absolutely,
absolutely. We know all of these countries have such problems. Haiti is going through a great deal. Syria has been through so much. We know you guys are under a lot of strain, and you leave the countries and you come to the United States and you just want to study. You just want to do well, and yet there's all this bureaucracy, all this. If I say this respectfully, kind of nonsense that you're required to do It's not easy. You have to follow it.
Mhm.
And we're trying to make the rules as simple as we can for you. Sometimes it's hard to do that, but you can always ask us. Just reach out, ask us, tell us what your problem is. A lot of times, Carlene won't tell you though, but she gets on the phone, she'll talk to you, and when it's physically possible. And if she has to get on the phone and contact your school or contact your employer, whatever, she has done it.
Yes.
She does it, and so we do care.
Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining.
All right. Thank you.